AI-generated imagery has come a long way in a very short space of time, as many people would have predicted. Naturally, as AI becomes more advanced, it enables researchers to make AI even more advanced. What could possibly go wrong when the tools used to create the next generation of AI are themselves AI? Nothing at all, I'm sure. In recent years, as many of you would have noticed, I've been including more and more AI-generated imagery in my videos. I do this for a few reasons. First, they fill in the gaps when a real photograph is impossible to find. For example, I have no photos of my great-grandmother, an immigrant from Denmark, who lived on a farm in Australia. In cases like that, an AI image is the easiest way to give you a visual. Secondly, AI is useful when images simply aren't available. For example, a recent police call for information described an aggravated robbery in Alice Springs. An unknown man, allegedly armed with a knife and slingshot, forced his way into a woman's home and stole her car. The police provided a detailed description: an Aboriginal man, 18 to 25, with short hair, wearing black jeans and a black puffer jacket with a red and white motif. Sometimes they have a grainy CCTV image, but in this case there was nothing. Obviously, that's a situation where an AI-generated image becomes incredibly useful for giving you a visual, provided it's made clear that the image is not real. Lastly, when I need to depict children, I often use AI now. It's against YouTube's policies to include images of real children without the express permission of both themselves and their parents, a policy I fully support. If I ever do use real photos of children, I make sure to blur their faces. I also apply a similar privacy principle to adults. For example, there's no issue with showing a photo of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese at a public press conference. He has no expectation of privacy there. But if I were to show a photo of him in his private home, or say in his bathtub, that would be a clear ethical and legal violation. Obviously, the photos on screen are AI-generated. Just a few short years ago, this was the sort of standard that AI could generate for a police officer pulling over a car. It's okay, it gets the message across, but it clearly isn't real. Nowadays, AI image generation is much more advanced. I'm not saying it's perfect. For example, the driver is almost completely missing in this photo, but it's pretty realistic otherwise. The issue is, in some of my recent videos, people have been mistakenly believing that some of these AI-generated photos are real. And that's not your fault, that's my fault. For example, in a previous video, I showed a picture of a Victorian prep class teaching about gender diversity, and some people mistakenly thought it was a real classroom. It wasn't. They commented on the two flags in the background, an Aboriginal flag and a rainbow flag. Just to be clear, I didn't ask the AI to put those flags there. The instruction I used was basically, can you draw an image of a school classroom in Victoria, Australia, foundation prep year, with the teacher teaching about gender diversity? Some upset parents are watching nearby. Naturally, it came up with a few different versions. Some had the Australian flag in them, others had no flags, but I ended up choosing this one because I thought it was the most fitting for the video. To be fair to the AI, it was only trained on real-world data. For example, if you look at the Victorian Government's Department of Families, Fairness and Housing website and scroll right down to the bottom, which flags do they show? The Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander and rainbow flags. They also have a so-called Safe Schools website, which isn't focused on keeping all children safe, but rather, the Safe Schools program helps schools foster a safe environment for LGBT students. So it's not so far-fetched that the AI included an Aboriginal and rainbow flag in this image of a Victorian prep class on gender diversity. It simply reflects what's common in the real world. But lastly, just to make it 100% clear when I'm using AI in a video, recently and certainly moving forward, I will always include this AI watermark in the lower right-hand corner of the image. Most AI image generators include them nowadays, I believe. Now, of course, I could edit or crop them out. That's a fairly trivial process, but my goal here isn't to trick people. I'm simply using AI in my videos for illustrative purposes only. So next time you see a commenter mistakenly believing an AI image is real, at least in my videos, just kindly point out the watermark in the lower right-hand corner, and that should clear everything up.